Myself, Akhilesh Kumar Maurya, Associate Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. In this lecture, I will discuss the Zener diode and rectifiers to the module first of Basic Electronics Engineering subject. Here, first, I will discuss the Zener diode IJ shunt regulator. Here, we can see the characteristics of the normal diode and the characteristics of the Zener diode. In previous lecture, we will discuss the characteristics of the normal diode. In normal diode, we can see clearly the normal diode acts as the in forward bias, and in reverse bias there are a small reverse saturation current I0 flow that can be neglected in the ideal case, but practically there is a small reverse saturation current flow. In the normal diode, you can see this shadow region is the operating region, but in the Zener diode, the operating region exists after the breakdown voltage, that is called the Zener breakdown voltage. So यहाँ पर Zener breakdown voltage के बाद ऑपरेटिंग रीजन एग्जिस्ट करता है इन द केस ऑफ द Zener डायोड, जो कि Zener करंट की मिनिमम से मैक्सिमम की रेंज में एग्जिस्ट करता है. सो क्लियरली इन दिस डायग्राम वी कैन सी द IZ minimum and IZ maximum value. The Zener diode works only in the reverse biased region and does not work in the forward biased. It works in the forward bias just as the normal diode. So Zener diode used as a shunt regulator. The shunt regulator circuit, basic Zener regulator, is shown here. Vi is the supply voltage, Vz is the Zener voltage, breakdown voltage, RL is the load resistor. Now here, for the operating Zener diode, as regulation occurs when Vi is greater than Vz. Here in this diagram we can see the Vi is the supply voltage. When supply voltage is greater than Vz, then the Zener diode will be operate. Zener diode is used to regulate the voltage across load against change due to the variations in the load current and supply voltage. Zener diode is used to regulate the voltage across load against the change due to the variations in load current and the supply voltage. So thus the Zener diode acts as the voltage regulator. So power dissipation across the diode is the Pz is equal to Vz into Iz. We know that the P is equal to V into I. So the power dissipation across the Zener diode Pz equal to Vz into Iz. So the maximum value of the power dissipation is PZM is equal to Vz into IZM, where IZM is the maximum Zener current. So here, as we can see, when the voltage across the Zener diode is greater than or equal to Vz, then the Zener diode acts as the regulator, or it is operating, is in operating region. Clearly we can see. So we can say the Zener diode is in on position, but when the voltage across the Zener diode is greater than 0 and less than the Vz, then Zener diode acts as the open circuit. It means Zener diode is in off conditions. Now here The some cases in which the Zener diode works as the regulator, यहाँ पर अलग अलग केसेस हैं जब सप्लाई वोल्टेज और लोड रजिस्टर दोनों फिक्स्ड होते हैं. सेकंड केस व्हेन सप्लाई वोल्टेज को हम फिक्स करते हैं, लोड रजिस्टर को चेंज करते हैं, देन व्हाट विल बी हैपन. एंड व्हेन द सप्लाई वोल्टेज को हम चेंज करते हैं एंड लोड रजिस्टर को फिक्स करते हैं, तो सो देयर आर 3 केसेस अराइजेज. सो फर्स्ट वी will discuss when VI and RL are fixed, means supply voltage and load resistors both are fixed. In this circuit we can see here the VI and RL both are the fixed. So this type of analysis can be fundamentally broken down into 2 steps. So in step first, we determine the state of Zener diode by the Zener diode, removing it from the network and calculating the voltage across the load. सबसे पहले फर्स्ट केस में, फर्स्ट स्टेप में हम Zener डायोड को सर्किट से रिमूव करते हैं एंड कैलकुलेट द वोल्टेज अक्रॉस द लोड. सो when we remove the Zener diode from the circuit, then the circuit will be like this. Here Zener diode acts as the open circuit because the Zener diode is removed from the circuit. So the voltage across the load RL can be found by the voltage divider rule. Here the resistor R and load resistor R are in series. So we can find the voltage across RL, that is the VL, by the voltage divider rule, that will be the VL equal to RL upon R plus RL into VI. Now when we find the load voltage, then there are 2 cases arises. If first case, if VL is less than VZ, if VL is less than VZ, then the Zener diode is off in first case. And if the VL is greater than or equal to VZ, then the Zener diode is on. So if we take the second case, then we apply the step second, that is the when if the Zener diode is on, then we take the VL equal to VZ. यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं केस 2 में जब VL VZ से ग्रेटर देन आर इक्वल टू है, तो इसका मतलब डायोड आपका Zener डायोड ऑन है. जब ऑन होगा तो हम सेकंड स्टेप में देखते हैं कि हम Zener डायोड जब ऑन है तो हम यहाँ पर इसकी मिनिमम कंडीशंस को लेते हैं, दैट इज द VL इक्वल टू VZ. नाउ हियर वी कैन सी, सो द Zener करंट must be determined by an application of the Kirchhoff's current law. In this diagram we can see the current through the resistor R. This current is divided in 2 ways. First passes through the Zener diode and second passes through the load resistor RL. So we can say the IR equal to IZ plus IL. Here you can see IR equal to IZ plus IL, or we can write from this equation IZ equal to IR minus IL, where IL equal to VL upon RL and IR equal to VR upon R equal to VI minus VL upon R. So power dissipated by the Zener diode is PZ equal to VZ into EIZ. So now we discuss a numerical problem on this case, that is the when VI and RL both are fixed. for the Zener diode network of the following circuit, we can see here in this diagram, determine the VL, VR, IZ and PZ. यहाँ पर इस सर्किट में हम डिटरमाइन करेंगे, निकालेंगे VL, VR, IZ, PZ. VL that is the load across the load voltage across the load resistor. VR that is the voltage across the resistor R. IZ that is the Zener current and PZ that is the power dissipation across the Zener. So second case, repeat the part A with RL is equal to 3 kilo ohm. It means in this first case RL is equal to 1.2 kilo ohm, and in second case when RL is equal to 3 kilo ohm. So now solve this questions. Here we can see the voltage across RL, that is the VL, that can be obtained by the voltage divider rule. That will be the VL equal to RL upon R plus RL into VI. So put the values RL equal to 1.2 upon 1 plus 1.2 multiply by 16, that is the supply voltage. So we can find the value of the VL, that will be 8.73 volt. Here we can see 8.73 volt. This is the value of the load resistor. Clearly we can see here this value is less than the VZ, that is the voltage Zener breakdown voltage VZ. Here in this questions the value of the VZ is equal to 10 volt, but we have calculated the value of the VL is 8.73 volt, that will be the less than the value of the VZ. So the Zener diode is in off state. If the Zener diode is in off state, so acts as the open circuit, so the current through the Zener diode is 0. So IZ is equal to 0 ampere. Here we can see, and VL is equal to 8.73 volt. So now VR, here if the Zener diode acts as the open circuit, then we apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Then we will find the VR equal to VI minus VL, that will be the 16 minus 8.73, that will be 7.27 volt. So the PZ, so the PZ will be VZ into IZ. Since here IZ is equal to 0, so this multiplications will be the 0. So PZ is equal to 0 watt. In second case here RL is equal to 3 kilo ohm. So that will be the K. B, in B RL is replaced by the 3 kilo ohm. Then what will be? Then again we will find the voltage across the load, that is VL by the voltage divider rule, RL upon RL plus R into VI, and we have find VL is equal to 12 volt. Here we can see the 12 volt is greater than the 10 volt, that is the value of the VZ. So in this case the Zener diode is on. So Zener diode will be on. So here we can see the Zener diode is on. So the value of the VL is equal to, we take the value of the VL is equal to the value of Zener breakdown voltage, that is the VZ. So VL equal to VZ equal to 10 volt, and VR equal to VI minus VL, that is the 16 minus 10 equal to 6 volt. So here we calculate the value of the load current, that will be the IL equal to VL upon RL, that will be the 10 volt upon 3 kilo ohm, that will be the 3.33 milliampere, and IR, that is the voltage across the R. Here we can see the voltage across the R, that will be the IR equal to VR upon R. So put the values here, we will find the 6 volt upon 1 kilo ohm equal to 6 milliampere. So that the current passes through the Zener diode, IZ equal to IR minus IL. So 6 milliampere minus 3.33 milliampere, that will be the 2.67 milliampere. So the power dissipated, that will be the Pz equal to Vz into Iz. So put the value of Vz and Iz, and we have find the Pz equal to 26.7 millivolt, which is less than the specific PZM 30 millivolt that will be given in the circuit. Here we can see the PZM is equal to 30 milliwatt, and we have calculated the PZ that will be the 26.7 milliwatt. Sorry, here the milliwatt, 26.7 milliwatt. So this is the less than the 30 milliwatt. Now second case. In second case, फिक्स्ड VI एंड वेरिएबल RL. यहाँ पर सप्लाई वोल्टेज हमारी फिक्स रहती है, बट द लोड रजिस्टर हमारा वेरिएबल होता है. देन इन दिस सर्किट वी कैन सी द सप्लाई वोल्टेज इज फिक्स्ड, वेयर एज द लोड रजिस्टर RL is variable. Then in this case, to determine the minimum load resistance RL minimum that will turn the Zener diode on, simply calculate the value of RL that will result in a load voltage that will be the VL equal to VZ, because we know that the VL should be greater than or equal to VZ. So the minimum conditions will be the VL equal to VZ. So here we take the VL equal to VZ. At this minimum conditions, the value of the load resistors will be minimum. So VL equal to VZ equal to RL minimum upon RL minimum plus R into VI. So from this equations, we have calculated the value of RL minimum, that will be RL minimum equal to R into VZ upon VI minus VZ. Since at the RL minimum, there will be the maximum value passes through the load resistor. So IL maximum equal to VL upon RL minimum. So VL can be written as VZ. So that is also equal to VZ upon RL minimum. Once the diode is on state, the voltage across the R remains fixed. The voltage across the R remains fixed at VR equal to VI minus VZ. यहाँ से हम देख सकते हैं, by applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law, that will be the VR equal to VI minus VZ. So IR remains fixed. IR remains fixed. That will be the IR equal to VR upon R. So the Zener current, that will be the IZ equal to IR minus IL. Here कैसे, the Zener current IZ equal to IR minus IL. So the resulting in a minimum IZ when IL is a maximum, and a maximum IZ when IL is a minimum value. Here from this circuit we can see when IL is a maximum, then IZ is minimum, and if the IL is a minimum, then IZ will be maximum, because the IR is constant. Since IZ is limited to IZM, that is the maximum value of the Zener current. So IL minimum will be IR minus IZM. Here we can see IL minimum equal to IR minus IZM, and the maximum load resistance RL maximum equal to VZ upon IL minimum. So is it clear? Now numerical problems on this topic. For the network of the following figure, determine the range of RL and IL that will result in VL being maintained at 10 volt, and its B part is determine the maximum wattage rating of the diode. In this circuit you can see the supply voltage VI is the 50 volt, value of the R is 1 kilo ohm, the Zener rating is VZ is equal to 10 volt and IZM is equal to 32 milliampere. Here the load is variable. So to determine the value of RL that will turn the Zener diode on, the RL minimum equal to R into Vz upon Vi minus Vz. So put the value and we find the RL minimum equal to 250 ohm. So the voltage across the resistance R is VR equal to Vi minus Vz. That will be the 50 minus 10 volt. That will be the 40 volt. Here we can see. So the minimum level of IL, the minimum level of IL is IL minimum, that equal to IR minus IZM, that is equal to 40 minus 32, that will be the 8 milliampere. Here IL minimum is 8 milliampere. So now the maximum value of RL, here if the IL is minimum, then at the IL minimum we can find the maximum value of the load resistor. So that will be the RL maximum equal to VZ upon IL minimum. That will be the 1.25 kilo ohm. Put the value of VZ and IL minimum and we will find the value of RL maximum 1.25 kilo ohm, and the maximum value of IL, that will be the IL maximum, that is equal to Vz upon RL minimum. So put the value of Vz and RL minimum and we have find, here we can see the IL maximum equal to 40 milliampere. 40 milliampere. So now B part, that is the maximum wattage rating of the diode, that will be the P maximum equal to Vz into IZM. So 10 volt multiplied by 32 milliampere, that will be the 320 milliwatt. Here a plot of VL versus RL, and for VL versus IL is shown. This is the figure for the part A. Here we can see the range of the RL, that will be from 250 ohm to 1.25 kilo ohm, and here correspondence, the load resistors, the value of the load current from 8 milliampere to 40 milliampere. Now we will discuss the third case, variable Vi and fixed RL. In this case, here we can see in the circuit the supply voltage is variable, whereas the load resistor is fixed. So in this case, what will be happen for such type of circuit? For the fixed value of RL, the voltage Vi must be sufficiently large to turn the Zener diode on. So the minimum turn on voltage Vi equal to Vi minimum is determined by the VL equal to Vz. We know that VL is greater than or equal to Vz, so minimum conditions will be VL equal to Vz. So this will be the RL upon R plus RL into Vi minimum by the voltage divider rule. So we have the value of Vi minimum, that will be the R plus RL upon RL into Vz. Here we can see. So since the value of IL will be the fixed, the load current through the load resistor will be the fixed, because the RL is fixed. So IL equal to VL upon RL, that will be the Vz upon RL equal to fixed. Then the maximum value of IR will be the IR maximum equal to IZM plus IL, means the maximum value passes through the Zener diode, and plus IL, because IL is fixed. So the Vi maximum, the maximum value of supply voltage equal to VR maximum plus Vz. From this circuit we can see by the Kirchhoff's voltage law, Vi maximum, that will be the VR maximum plus Vz. So Vi maximum, it means put the value of VR, that will be the IR maximum into R plus Vz. Now a numerical problem based on this case. Here we can see the determine the range of values of Vi that will maintain the Zener diode of the following circuit is in the on state. So Vi की वो रेंज हमें ऑब्टेंड करनी है जो कि जेनर डायोड को हमेशा ऑन स्टेट में रखें. सो हियर वी विल फाइंड द Vi minimum by the minimum value of Vi is the VL equal to Vz, that will equal to RL upon RL plus R into Vi. So here Vi is the minimum value of Vi. So Vi minimum equal to RL plus R upon RL into Vz. So put the value of RL, R and Vz. We have the Vi minimum equal to 23.67 volt. Now IL equal to VL upon RL and VL equal to Vz. So IL equal to Vz upon RL. So put the value of Vz and RL, and we have the IL equal to 16.67 milliampere. So IR maximum value IZM plus IL. So put the value of IZM and IZM is given in this circuit, the diode rating. So IZM plus IL, that will be 76.67 milliampere. So we have find the Vi maximum, that will be the IR maximum into R plus Vz. Putting these values, and we have obtained the Vi maximum equal to 36.87 volt. Now next topic is the rectifiers. What is the rectifiers? It is a device which converts AC voltage to pulsating DC voltage using one or more PN junction diode. The PN junction diodes conducts only in one direction. It conducts when forward biased practically, while it does not conduct when reverse biased. Thus, if an alternating voltage is applied across PN junction diode, then during the positive half cycle, the diode will conduct, while during the negative half cycle, it will not conduct at all. Thus, conduction occurs during the positive half cycle. So there are some important parameters relating to the rectifiers, such as the RMS and DC value. It is the DC value. It is also known as the average value and denoted by the x bar t. Mathematically, it can be written as the x dCr x bar t is equal to 1 by t from integration from 0 to 2 t ext dt. And the RMS value, this is also known as the effective value, that is the root mean square value. RMS value, root mean square value, it is also known as the effective value and calculated by the formula x RMS is equal to under root 1 by t integration from 0 to t x square t dt. Now the form factor and ripple factor. Form factor is calculated by the formula x RMS by x DC. X RMS, that is the RMS value upon x DC upon DC value. So RMS value upon the DC value. And ripple factor is defined as the x RMS AC upon x DC. X RMS AC, this is the AC component of the RMS value, and the relation between the x RMS AC and x RMS is the x RMS equal to x RMS AC square plus x DC square. So if you divide on both sides by the x DC, then from here we can write x RMS upon x DC equal to under root x RMS AC square plus x DC square upon x DC square. So now from here we can write the x RMS upon x DC, that will be the form factor, and x RMS AC upon x DC, that is the ripple factor. So form factor equal to under root ripple square plus 1, or we can say the ripple factor equal to under root form factor square minus 1. Here the output of the rectifier, the output here, the ripple factor. So what is the ripple factor? The output of the rectifier is of a pulsating DC type. So the amount of the AC content in the output can be mathematically expressed by a factor called ripple factor. Here, you see, called the ripple factor. Better is the performance, less if the ripple factor is less, then the circuit performance is the better. Using one or more diodes, there are three types of the rectifiers: half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, and bridge rectifier. So first we will discuss the half wave rectifier. This rectifier circuit consists of resistive load, rectifying element, diode, and the source of AC voltage, all connected in series as shown in this figure here. This is the circuit of the half wave rectifier. Here the operation of the circuit: during the positive half cycle of input AC voltage, the terminal A, here we can see in this diagram, the terminal during the positive half cycle of the AC input, the terminal A becomes positive with respect to the terminal B. So then what will be happen? Then the diode is forward biased and the current flow in the circuit in the clockwise directions. Here you can see in this circuit, current flow in this circuit in the clockwise direction. So this current is also flowing through the load resistance RL, hence denoted as the IL. And during the negative half cycles, during the negative half cycle, this terminal here, this terminal A is negative with respect to the terminal B. So the diode becomes the reverse biased and hence no current flow in the circuit, as shown in this diagram. Here this diode acts as the open circuit, so there is no current flow through the load resistor RL. So the different waveforms are shown below. Here the first diagram above in wave diagram, this is the first waveform is the secondary voltage, and then we have see the load voltage is obtained. Here for the positive half cycles we have the output, but for the negative half cycles we have not the output, so we have not the load voltage. So we have the output, that is the load voltage, from 0 to pi, from 2 pi to 3 pi, from 4 pi to 5 pi, and so on. But from 2 pi to 2 pi, or 3 pi to 4 pi, or 5 pi to 6 pi, for this wave the output will be 0. And the voltage across the diode during the reverse bias conditions, that is called the peak inverse voltage, that is shown in this diagram. That peak is the Vm, so peak inverse voltage is Vm. Now the analysis of half wave rectifier. Now we assume a sinusoidal input, that is the Vi equal to Vm sin omega t, then the output voltage is VL equal to Vm sin omega t. For the range omega t is greater than or equal to 0 is less than or equal to pi, and 0 for omega t is greater than or equal to pi or less than or equal to 2 pi. Similarly, the value of the output current or load current IL is equal to Im sin omega t for omega t is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to pi, and IL is equal to 0 for omega t is greater than or equal to pi and is less than or equal to 2 pi. where Im is the peak value of the load current and Im equal to Vm upon Rs plus Rf plus Rl, where Rs is the resistance of the secondary winding transformer and Rf is the forward resistance of diode. So now we have calculated the average or the DC value. For finding the average value or the DC value of an alternating waveform, we have to determine the area under the curve over one complete cycle, that is from 0 to 2 pi, then dividing it by 2 pi. So here we can write IDC equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration of 0 to 2 pi IL d omega t. So put the value of IL, that will be the 1 upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi Im sin omega t d of omega t. So now integrate the sin omega t and Im. First, this integrations we will broken in two parts, 0 to pi and pi to 2 pi. So here for 0 to 2 pi the output is obtained, means for the positive half cycles, but for the negative half cycles the output will be 0, means that for the pi to 2 pi the output will be 0. So pi to 2 pi the integrations will be 0. So finally the IDC is equal to 1 upon 2 pi 0 to pi Im sin omega t d omega t. So here Im acts as the constant, so Im taken from the outside of the integration. So integrate the sin omega t, that will be the minus cos omega t, limit from 0 to pi, put the limit. So cos pi minus cos 0, we know that the cos pi is equal to minus 1 and cos 0 is equal to minus 1. So we have find the value of the IDC equal to Im upon pi. So the DC value of load voltage, so VDC is equal to IDC into RL, that will be equal to Im upon pi into RL. So Vm, put the value of the Im, that will be the Vm upon Rs plus Rf plus RL into pi, that is equal to RL. But Rs and Rf in ideal case these are very small, we can neglect, but for the practical case RL is very greater than the Rs plus Rf, so we can neglect the value of the Rs plus Rf. So VDC is equal to Vm upon pi RL into RL, so RL to RL cancel, so VDC is equal to Vm upon pi. Now the RMS value of the load current, here by the formula you can find the IRMS is equal to under root 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi IL square d of omega t. So again for 0 to pi we have the output and for pi to 2 pi we have no output. So this integration again can be written IRMS is equal to under root 1 upon 2 pi for the integration from 0 to pi Im square sin square omega t d of omega t. So from the formula cos 2x is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square x, we can write the sin square omega t equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2. So here integrate, so now integrate the 1 minus cos 2 omega t. So here finally we calculate the value of the IRMS, that will be the Im by 2. So IRMS is equal to Im by 2, RMS value of the load voltage, that is the IRMS into RL. So Im by 2 into RL. So put the value of Im, that will be the Vm upon Rs plus Rf plus RL into 2 into RL. Again here the value of RL is very greater than plus very greater than Rs plus Rf. So we can neglect the value of Rs plus Rf. So we can write the VRMS equal to Vm upon 2 into RL into RL. So RL cancel. So we can write VRMS is equal to Vm upon 2. Here we can see VRMS is equal to Vm upon 2. So DC power, now DC power output, that will be the PDC that will be equal to IDC square into RL. So put the value of the IDC Im upon pi square into RL. So PDC is equal to Im square upon pi square into RL. Now AC power input, that is the PAC. The AC power input taken from the secondary of transformer is the power supplied to three resistance, namely RL, that is the load resistor, diode resistance RF, and winding resistance, that is the winding resistance RS, that is the secondary winding resistance RS. Thus PAC equal to IRMS whole square into RS plus RF plus RL. So put the value of IRMS equal to Im by 2. So PAC equal to Im square upon 4 into RS plus RF plus RL. Now rectifier efficiency. The rectifier efficiency is defined as the ratio of the output DC power to the input AC power. The output DC power to the input AC power. So the efficiency, that is denoted by the eta is equal to DC output power upon AC input power. So PDC upon PAC. Put the value of the PDC and PAC. Now we have calculate the eta equal to 0.406 upon 1 plus RS plus RF upon RL. Again, if RS plus RF is very less than RL, then we get the maximum theoretical efficiency of half wave rectifier at eta is equal to 0.406. So this is in percentage. The percentage of efficiency, that will be the 40.06%. So we can say the efficiency for the half wave rectifier is 40.6%. Here, more the rectifier efficiency, less are the ripple contents in the output. Thus, in half wave rectifier, the maximum 40.6% AC power gets converted into DC power at the load, and remaining 59.4% power is present in the terms of the ripples at the output, which is fluctuating component present in the output. So now next topic is ripple factor for the half wave rectifier. It is clear the output of half wave rectifier is not pure DC but a pulsating DC. The output contains pulsating component called the ripples. Ideally, there should not be any ripples. There should not be any ripples should be present in the rectifier output. The measure of ripples present in the output is with the help of a factor called the ripple factor, denoted by the gamma. So the ripple factor will be the, we know that the ripple factor is the RMS value of the, and RMS value by the DC value. Here you can see the RMS value by the DC value. This is the form factor. So we have calculated the first the form factor for calculating the ripple factor. So form factor F is equal to IRMS upon IDC. So Im by 2 upon Im by pi. So form factor will be the 1.57. So the ripple factor is the under root form factor square minus 1. So put the value of, so we have calculate the ripple factor is 1.21. This indicates that the ripple contents in the output are 1.21 times the DC component, that is 121% of the DC component. Thus, the ripple factor for half wave rectifier is very high, which indicates that the half wave circuit is a pure converter of AC to DC. So now the peak inverse voltage. The peak inverse voltage across the diode, that is the voltage across the diode in the reverse directions, that is when the diode is reverse bias. This is called the peak inverse voltage rating of the diode. In the circuit we can see when the diode is reverse bias, so diode acts as the open circuit. So apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law in this circuit. then we have write Vm minus PIV equal to 0. So PIV is equal to Vm means the peak inverse voltage across the diode will be the Vm. Now the voltage regulation. The voltage regulation is the factor which tells us about the change in the DC output voltage as load changes from no load to full load condition. So percentage of voltage regulations equal to VDC at no load minus VDC at full load upon VDC at full load multiply by 100. Less the value of voltage regulation, better is the performance of the rectifier circuit. So now advantage and disadvantage of half-wave rectifier. Advantages are the first, only one diode is sufficient. Second, the circuit is easy to design. And third, no center tap on the transformer is necessary. And disadvantages are the first, the ripple factor of half-wave rectifier circuit is 1.21, which is quite high, so output contains lot of varying components. Second, the rectifier efficiency is found to be 40%. That indicates the half-wave rectifier circuit is quite insufficient. And third disadvantage is that the circuit has low transformer utilization factor, that shows the transformer is not fully utilized. Thank you.